Hi, David. How are you?
I'm very well, Lisa. Thank you for calling in.
My view is, especially after listening to your show now, I've got five children, two of whom are avid. They love TikTok, but because it's so addictive, I've put a 20-minute daily limit on there, so they're not allowed to go on it. As soon as 20 minutes is up, the app shuts down and they can't go on it again for
Oh
the rest
God,
of the
Lisa, you
day.
sound like the most fantastic, responsible parent, and I'm now feeling incredibly guilty.
Well,
Bad. Do carry on.
yeah, but it's really, really difficult because, to just, I'm actually horrified by what I've heard. And actually, I think I'm going to completely ban it totally. And what's really interesting is in China themselves, they really, really censor what their people see in terms of, I mean, I'm not up to, I don't agree with censorship, but
I know what you mean.
to an extent, our children do need to be censored.
Funny enough,
And
I
there's,
visited a friend a few years ago who lives in Silicon Valley, and the controls that she had on her children's apps were unbelievable. The whole
yeah,
community understood the danger of these apps.
yeah. I
And the
mean,
truth
Steve
is,
Jobs,
I'm
he
of an
didn't allow
age,
his
I don't
children.
understand half this technology, Lisa.
Yeah, exactly. Me too. And the fact that Steve Jobs himself wouldn't allow his children to have an iPad, I think speaks volumes to like the amount of freedom that our children have with this technology. And I don't think that they're mentally capable to deal with it. I think a lot of adults aren't mentally capable, to deal with the ramifications of social media.
Lisa, tell
Um,
me, you controlled it because you felt that it was addictive, and I can certainly see that,
yeah,
the addiction, not so much because of the content, or had you looked at some of the
yeah,
content
not
and
so
thought, no,
much
I'm worried
because
about
of
this?
Yeah, so not so much because of the content, but when I did put the restrictions on, it was because of Andrew Tate, and
Oh,
I'd
yeah,
never heard of him. And then I was
yeah.
asking my son, "Oh, have you heard of Andrew Tate?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, no, he's really cool. Like, and he actually agreed with like a lot of the stuff that he said." And I thought, "Nah, this is dangerous territory here," because I'd never even heard of Andrew Tate, and I'd read an article about it. So I thought, well, let me just ask my son if he'd ever heard of him. And he knew all about Andrew Tate and,
As
was
did
watching
my,
him.
as did my 14-year-old know all about him, and I didn't know a thing. So I'm
Exactly. And,
yeah.
they're knowing, they're exposed to so much. And that what I think is quite hypocritical is, the China, it's a Chinese owned app and they allow everything on there. Like what Teresa said, just your text message,
Yes, yes.
like all that stuff is on there. It's almost like they're trying to make our children, um,
Well,
bring our children down,
yeah.
basically, because they're the future, aren't they? Because they don't allow their own children to see any of that stuff, and yet we're exposed to so much, and we're completely unaware of it.